This is one of 3 quite important videos that I've put together from my time diving in cave country, Florida. We're going to focus on how you can get correct weighting quickly and efficiently when using a dry suit, and the different types of steel cylinders you have available in Florida. I'm confident that many divers in Florida are diving overweighted. This video covers my full surface weight checking procedure. I'm using a set of low pressure 85 steel cylinders. For this demonstration, they're at 700 psi or 50 bar, which is an end of dive reserve pressure. My dry suit and BCD are completely empty. 3 fingers means I'm holding around an 80% lung volume hold, which is a full breath in. You can see this floats me around eye level. 2 fingers, I'm holding 50%. I'm now floating at the top of my head. When I then change to 20%, you can see I'm slowly sinking from the surface. I hold 50%, I become neutral, and at 80% I slowly start to rise back to the surface again. What you've just seen is a correctly weighted diver who is doing a surface weight check retest with just the reserve gas left in the cylinders. Remember, my BCD is completely empty, as well as my dry suit. I'm now going to descend to 15 feet or 5 meters. I slowly start to sink by just holding 20% lung volume. Then I just add whatever lead weights are needed, so I keep correctly weighted like you see in this video. If I needed to be warmer, I could use a thicker undersuit, like I would if diving in European winters. A diver's body mass plays a big part when it comes to getting correctly weighted. A diver with more body fat or bioprene is going to be more buoyant and need less underlayers to keep them warmer than another diver, and I have just enough air in my dry suit to stop the squeeze and maybe a little more for comfort should I need to stay there for a prolonged time. I must stress again, my BCD is completely empty and is not providing any buoyancy I need. Out of all the steel cylinders I tested, the low pressure steel 85s were my preferred cylinder for many reasons. All of those reasons I discuss fully in a separate video on steel cylinder comparisons, so make sure you have a look at that. For you to best understand how we get correctly weighted, I'm now going to break down the weight change you get in your low pressure 85, which, if you're actually using it for cave diving, they're actually filled to 3,800 psi, and this gives one of your cylinders the weight out of the water at 47.4 pounds. If we then put that same cylinder into the water and reweigh, it has a negative effect of 11.5 pounds. So having 2 of these cylinders full at the start of the dive gives the diver 23 pounds of negative weight, which you'll see later has a big effect. If diving in a wetsuit, these cylinders would clearly put you overweighted, and that is without even having any lead weights whatsoever. The cylinder started with 3,800, finished with 700. This means the total weight of air lost alone was 11.6 pounds. This means your BCD's capacity must be at least that amount. Now we're going to take a look at the surface weight check again, this time with full cylinders. However, if you find yourself dropping like a stone with no air in your BCD and no air in your dry suit, you are clearly still overweighted. My best and safest advice is for you to do the entire weight checking procedure with near empty cylinders at 700 psi or 50 bar. You just need to look for my end of dive weight checking procedure you'll find in separate online training videos. All weight checks must be done wearing your full equipment in the water. Let's compare that to an aluminium cylinder with the same pressure, 900 psi, and you can see once we let go of this cylinder, the cylinder base is much more positive, and the cylinder, when diving with steel cylinders, is your bungee length and thickness. I suggest a very good quality 6mm or 8mm bungee. It needs to be giving the right tension on your side mount valves and not being too short you cannot stretch it out. You can see my loop bungee sizing videos for more help and advice on this.